Welcome back to session 39. Today, we are pushing deeper in phase 4, the part 2 of our completely local Indian language AI pipeline. If you have been following along, you know we are building a robust local AI studio, and today is a massive step forward for handling multilingual content. Let's do a quick recap. We started our transcription journey with Faster Whisper. But to get true accuracy for Indian languages, we pivoted to AI4Bharat's Indic conformer models. But we hit a major technical hurdle. Conformer doesn't automatically segment audio. At first, we used Python to hard cut audio every 10 seconds. The problem? That chop words and phrases right in half, completely breaking our downstream translation. So we engineered a fix. We built a script to detect silence at the end of a sentence, giving us a flexible plus or minus 3-second window to slice the audio exactly at the end of a sentence. Perfect segmentation. Now that we have a clean segmented transcript, it's time to translate. And we are not going to write a messy web of separate scripts for every single language. Today, we are building one unified parameterized script to control our input language, output language, and the exact model we need. To pull this off, we are utilizing the AI4Bharat translation models, which breaks into 3 main categories. The first is English to Indian languages, that is English to Indic. Here there are 2 models, in-Indic 200M or the heavier one, in-Indic 1 billion model. And to translate from Indian language to English, we use Indic N200M or Indic N1B. And finally, to translate between Indian regional languages like Tamil to Kannada, Hindi to Sanskrit, Kannada to Punjabi, we are going to use Indic to Indic model. And even here we have 2 variables, Indic 200M model or the 1 billion model. If you were with us in session 36, your IndicTrans2 environment is readily fired up and it is ready to go. But if you are just dropping in on this video, don't worry. I am going to walk you through the setting up of a fresh environment, installing all the required libraries and running these translation models entirely locally. So let us get started. Now to begin with, I have provided you some Python script patch files and also transcripted files which we had completed in the previous session. So if you have not finished the previous session, you can directly use this transcripted file. And to download this asset, you can come into your YouTube video page or the e-learning page, scroll down, and in the description if you click on more, you have the Patreon page link here. Click on this Patreon page link. It will bring you to the AI Film Studio Setup and Filmmaking Patreon page. If you scroll down, you have 39 regional language translation 02.zip file. Click on this to download it. Come to the downloads folder, right click and choose extract all to extract all these files. Select all these 5 script files, right click and copy it. Come into PC, D drive, AI Studio, Audio, Scripts, phase 4, right click and paste it. Some of the files I have already done it in the previous session, so it is asking me to replace it. Click on replace the files, come back to the folder here and you have one transcripts folder here, and if you open it, you can see Hindi, Kannada, Tamil and test English transcription. If you have not completed the previous session, you can use this transcript file for this session. So you can just right click and copy it and come into AI Studio Audio Output, and here you can come and paste it. Right now I have already finished the transcription, so I will skip these files. Before we begin, come into your browser, search for AI4Bharat Hugging Face. Press enter and the very first link here you see is this AI4Bharat. Click on this link. You have to log in. Come into Access Token and see that you have created a token, copied it and saved it in a notepad document. Press back and come back in this AI4Bharat page. If you scroll down, you have around 17 collections. Click on View 17 collections and if you scroll down, you have IndicTrans2. Click on this IndicTrans2. In our previous session, use this IndicTrans2 N Indic 1B and 200M. You can just click here and see that have been granted access to this model. I will go back, click on the second link. This link also I have been granted access. I will go back and click on this Indic English 1B link. I have to click on agree and access repository. Now I will again go back and I will select 200 million model of Indic English. Click on this and click on agree and access repository. Now I will go back. I have this Indic to Indic 1B parameter model. I will click on agree and access repository. Now I will go back and I have another model with 320M parameters. I will click on this Indic this 320M parameter and I will click on agree and access repository. I have been granted access to all AI4Bharat model. The current platform will be built on Linux. So we are going to make use of WSL. So I will come into the search and type WSL. How to install and configure WSL for D drive? I have clearly explained in the past videos. You can go through the playlist and go through it to make the installation of WSL. I select it and click on run as administrator. So now I am in the Linux command prompt, that is the bash command prompt, and I will type lsv_release-a. And if you press enter, the version of Ubuntu that is available. And one more thing I have to test is whether I have access to my DAI Studio folder from Linux. So to test it, just type ls. ls is to list the file. Add a /mnt/d/AI Studio. And if I press enter, if you see all these folders, then it means that you have access to the D drive. I have already installed Conda and Mamba. To check it, type Conda 2-version and press enter. You can see Conda is there. I will type Mamba 2-version and press enter. See, Mamba is also installed. If you want to know how to install Conda and Mamba, you can refer to my 36th video where I have clearly covered how to install Conda on Linux. The next job is to check all the available environment. Type Conda env space list and press enter. Right now I have audio Indic ASR and Indic Translate. You can directly make use of Indic Translate environment which we have already created and you can directly use it. But if you are using or referring to this video directly, then for your advantage, I am going to create a new environment for this stage. So I am going to start by creating a new environment. So I will type Mamba space create -n and the name I am going to give is Indic Translate space and the Python version I will install is equal to 3.10-y. Press enter. I have created a new environment. I have to activate this environment. Now let us activate the new environment, and to activate it I will type Conda space activate and the name of the environment Indic-Translate and press enter. And if you see the name of that environment before this command prompt, it means that we are in this Indic Translate environment. I have to install some packages. So I will type Python -m pip install to add to hyphen and I am going to upgrade pip. I am also going to install setup tools space wheel, and if I press enter, so all these packages will be now installed. Then I have to check whether my graphic card is accessible in this environment. So I will type NVIDIA-SMI and if I press enter, and if you see the driver version, the name of your graphic card and the RAM, this means that it is being recognized correctly. It is time to install Torch, Torch Vision and Torch Audio. I am going to type pip install Torch Vision space. I will also install Torch Audio space and I am going to install it from an URL. So I will add to -index-URL space. Then the address is https://download PyTorch org-whl- I am going to install CU128. I am not going in for CU130 because I have some driver access issue with the latest 130 version. So I am installing CUDA 12.8 version, CU128. Now if I press enter, so now these packages will be now downloaded and installed in your environment. Once the Torch installation is complete, let us once check whether this Torch GPU is working correctly. If you come into your Explorer, in your D drive AI Studio inside audio scripts, I had provided you with one file check underscore torch underscore gpu.py. If you doesn't have this file, you can download it from the Patreon page. So I will come back into Linux prompt. I will run Python space and the path /mt/d/AI Studio /audio/scripts, and in that I have this check underscore torch underscore gpu.py and press enter, and it is going to check the GPU, and if you get GPU count as 1 and if you see the GPU name here, then Torch Vision is working fine. I have to install some dependencies specific to my AI4Bharat Indic translate model. And the first one I have to install is pip install. I have to install transformers, but I need 4.40 version. So I will add inverted comma transformer 2 equal sign. The version I need is 4.40.2. I will end the inverted comma and press enter. So I have this specific version of transformers installed. Next, I have to install tokenizer 0.19.1 version. Type pip install and add inverted comma, the name of my package tokenizers, add 2 equal signs. Version is 0.19.1, end the inverted comma. And now if I press enter, this version is installed. Next, I want to install Hugging Face Hub for authentication of my Hugging Face account. Pip install inverted comma Hugging Face hyphen hub and 2 equal sign, and the version is 0.23.5. End it with inverted comma and press enter. This version will be installed. AI4Bharat insists us to install a few more dependencies. The first is type pip install sentence piece space SACREMOSES sacred Moses space ACCELERAT accelerate space install TQDM space install pandas space install reject space PROTOBUF protobuf, finally SRT. I will press enter. All these packages will be downloaded and installed. I should also install IndicTrans toolkit. Type pip install IndicTrans toolkit, and if I press enter, so IndicTrans toolkit will now be installed. Once all this installation is done, I have to check whether all this installation is working correctly. If you come into AI Studio audio scripts and in phase 4, I have provided you with a file check IndicTrans underscore setup.py file. To run this script, I will come back to Linux command, type Python, then the path /mt/d/AI Studio /audio /scripts phase 4 and the name of the file is check underscore IndicTrans underscore setup.py, and if I press enter, it is going to check. Now showing me transformer version, torch version, CUDA version, CUDA available is true. It is showing me the GPU, and IndicTrans toolkit is showing okay. This means all the packages are now running correctly. We are ready to execute our main audio translation script. Before we come to our script, we have to authenticate our login in this Python environment. I am going to call Hugging Face -client login, add 2 token, press space, come into your Explorer AI Studio. In a text document, I have already saved AI4Bharat access token value. If I double click this and open it, I am going to press Ctrl A to select everything, right click, and I will copy it. Come back to Linux terminal and I will just right click to add this code, press right arrow and then press enter. The login is successful. To test it, I will type Hugging Face Live. Who am I? And if I press enter, you should see your username and the organization name. I have logged in and I am ready to access my models. If you come back to the Explorer, in AI Studio, come into audio folder, script, phase 4, you have this 4 translate segment any language.py file which we had downloaded at the start of this session. So I will right click and choose open to open this in Visual Studio Code. Now let us explore this code, and as you see here, first you have all the language code that we are supposed to use for various languages. Then if you scroll down, full names, then direct IndicTrans2 codes, and if you scroll down you have model presets. And as I scroll down, and if I come to somewhere in line number 164 in this main function, you have various parameters that I have to declare. The very first parameter I have to give is the input file. I have to give the transcripted JSON file as the input file. I will come back to my WSL2 terminal, type Python space and the path to my script /MNT/D/A studio /audio/script/phase 4 / the file name is 04 translate _ segments _ any _ language /py. And the first parameter I give here is /input, and the input path is again /MNT/D in AI studio /audio folder /output /transcripts folder / I will come into Hindi folder. Now come into the Explorer, and in this AI Studio Audio Output Transcripts Hindi, the file name I am going to use is this Hindi video sample Hindi segments. So I will call this Hindi _video _sample Hindi segment .json. Press space. The next parameter is, if you come into Visual Studio Code, it is the source language. So I will come back to my WSL2 terminal, add to -source, and the source language is Hindi, HI. Press space. Then if you come back to Visual Studio Code, the next parameter is target. So I will come back to my WSL2 terminal, add to -target English. Press space and come back to Visual Studio Code, and next is the model. Since I am translating it from Indian language to English, I have to use this Indic in model. On a laptop, use this 200 million parameter model. But since I am using it on 5070 card, I am going to use the 1 billion parameter model. So I'll come back to WSL2, add to -model, and model name is Indic-in-1b, and press space. Come back to Visual Studio Code, and now if you scroll down, the batch size I will leave it at default 8. In laptop, you have to keep this 4 or 2, and output directory is in AI Studio Audio Output Translations. I will leave it as it is. If you scroll down, you have the output prefix. I will come back to WSL2 terminal. I will add to -output -prefix. I will give the prefix Hindi _ English. Coming back to Visual Studio Code, next is maximum length. I will leave it default 256. Number beam 5, I will leave it as it is. So now coming back to my WSL2, when I press enter and run it for the first time, it is going to check and it is going to download the model. See, the model is around 4.09 gigabyte. Wait for this model to download. The translation has started. See, it is as a batch size of 8. It has done the translation and it shows the path where the output files are saved. If I come into my Explorer, AI Studio Output, and in translations, I have these 3 files. Right click and I will create a new folder called as Hindi. Press enter and I will select all these 3 files. Drag it and put it into the Hindi folder. Now if I open the Hindi folder, I will select this JSON file, right click and open it in Visual Studio Code, and you can clearly see how my Hindi sentences are correctly translated to English. So now I will close my JSON file, come back to Explorer, and if I double click the SRT file and open it in Notepad, and you can directly use it in your video editor as Subtitle, I have the complete transcript text file, and if I double click it, you can see the complete transcript, and I am going to close it. Now coming back to WSL2 terminal, I will press the up arrow to come to the previous command, wherein I converted from Hindi to English. I am going to do this translation from Hindi to any of the local Indian languages. If you open the script file, this time I want it to be translated from Hindi to Telugu. The code is TE. And if you scroll down, for Indian language to Indian language, I have to use a different model. I have to use either Indic 320 million parameter or Indic 1B. I am going to use this Indic 1B. So coming back to my WSL2 terminal, I am going to first change the target language from English. I will change it to Telugu, which is TE. Then model, instead of Indic English, I will delete English and add Indic. So I am going to use Indic 1B. In the prefix, I am going to change this from English to Tamil. Making these three changes, if I press enter, now again the model is getting downloaded. It is around 4.83 GB. Now once the model is downloaded, the translation has started, and with batch size of 8, all the translation is done. I will come into the folder, and in audio output translations, I am going to now create a new folder. I will call this as Telugu. I will rename this as Hindi to Telugu for all the three files. Now I will select all the three files and drag it into the Telugu folder. And if I double click it and open this transcript.txt file and see it, it has been perfectly translated into Telugu. Now I will close this. I will come back to WSL2. I am going to use another language. I will press the up arrow again, moving here into input file. Instead of Hindi video sample, change this as Kannada video sample. Even instead of Hindi segment, I will make this Kannada segment, and also the folder, instead of Hindi, I will change this to Kannada. Now coming back, this source language, instead of Hindi, I will change it to Kannada. KN is the Kannada code, and the target language, I am going to change it to English. And in model, instead of Indic, and I am going to replace this as English. And in the output prefix, change it from Kannada to English. Now the model is already downloaded. The transcription happens very fast. If I press enter, translating has started. You have the translation done. And now if I come into the folder translations, one issue here is this is not the Hindi folder. I have to right click and rename this as English. I will rename this as English. I will select all these three files, drag it into the English folder. If I come into Visual Studio Code, the Sanskrit code here is SA. I will come back to my WSL2 terminal, press upper arrow. Instead of changing it to English, I will change the prefix here to Sanskrit. I will come into model, and instead of Indic -en, I will use Indic 1B. The source language is Kannada as it is, whereas the target language, change it to SA. I will press N to come to the end of the command line and press enter. Because the model is already downloaded, the translation immediately starts. If you come into the folder, so I will right click and create a new folder, call this as Sanskrit. I will drag all these three files and put it into the Sanskrit folder. If I double click Sanskrit and open any of the file here, so I will select the JSON, right click and open it, you can see the Kannada being cleanly translated into Transcript. In AI Studio Audio Output Transcript, I have another folder Tamil. So to do this translation, I will come back to Linux terminal. I will press the up arrow to access the previous command. I will press the left arrow and come here, and I will first change the input file from Kannada, replace it as Tamil. Instead of Kannada video sample, I will make this Tamil video sample. Instead of Kannada segment, I will make it Tamil segment. In the source language, change this to Tamil. The code for Tamil is TA. Then I will come to target. I will change this first to English, and instead of Indic 1B, I am going to select Indic -en -1B, and in the output prefix, I will change this to Tamil to English. Press N to come to the end of the line, and if I press enter, the files have been translated. And if I now come into AI Studio Audio Output Translations, you can see the three Tamil to English. If I double click and open it, you can see Tamil has been translated to English. I will close this. I will select all the three files, drag it into the English folder. Now coming back to WS2 command, I will press again the up arrow. And this time I am going to use the same file, but I will change the target file from English to Malayalam. If you come into Visual Studio Code, you can see for Malayalam we are using ML, Tamil to Malayalam. Model, I am going to change it as Indic. I will delete English and put Indic. Indic-1B, and in the output prefix change this from Tamil to Malayalam. If I press enter, see the translation has started, and once the translation is done, if you come into the translation folder, right click, and I am going to create a new folder, call this as Malayalam. Then I will select all these three files, drag it and put it into the Malayalam folder. So if I double click it and open this text file, the entire script has been translated into Malayalam. I will close it. So in this session, we have explored how we can translate our transcripted file from one language to another language using the three AI4Bharat Indic translation models. So with this, we are going to conclude this session, and in our next session, we are going to move into phase 5, where these translated language scripts are converted into voice.